I've got a question for you. Hey everybody, old pal Mike, happy, healthy, safe. We got it out of the way. Let's get back to my question. My question is this: do you own a Jazzmaster, a Jaguar, a Bass 6, really any guitar that utilizes the Fender offset vibrato design? And if you answered yes, I have a follow-up. Does your vibrato arm stay relatively in place like mine, or does it tend to flop around? Does it maybe fall out from time to time? Does it even sometimes swing completely the whole way around when you reach for it in the middle of a sweaty hot solo at the tavern, or youth hall, or kid's birthday party? Where do people play anymore? If any of those latter answers are a problem for you, then I am here to offer a solution. I've got one weird trick. Guitar techs hate him because of this one weird trick. That's right, friends, I've got a life hack for you, and unlike most life hacks, this one actually works. It's called the hammer trick, and I have indeed talked about it on the channel before, albeit in the middle of a much longer video, so you may not even know that it's there. So for your reference and mine as well, I thought it would be beneficial to have this trick in its own standalone video, easy to access and easy to find on the channel for whenever you might need it. You can see here on Pancake that I've done the hammer trick, and I can just kind of put the arm exactly where I want it. I can strum away to my heart's content. It's not in the way, but when I want it, it's there. And then I put it out of the way and I go back to strumming. Or I'll just leave it here because I'm frequently grabbing it with my pinky or the middle of my hand and strumming chords while I hold the arm. If you're like me, you really want the arm to stay put. You don't want to have to go searching for it whenever you need it most. Well, then you're going to want to do the hammer trick. So let's talk about the hammer trick. But before we do, I need to tell you about the sponsor of today's video, Mother Mary. Mother Mary is a company that you've seen on the channel before. They make incredible straps and gig bags and pedals. That's right, you might remember the Mother Mary The Fly demo that I did right at the end of the year. That's an incredible octave fuzz, and oh my god, it's one of my favorites out there. Mother Mary's been a friend and great supporters of mine over the years, and they've sponsored this video. So do me a favor, if you're in the market for a strap, a gig bag, a cool octave fuzz pedal, many other things, please click the link in the description down below. And lest I forget, a quick shout out to my supporters on Patreon. Never has there been a more wretched hive of scum and villainy. I'm kidding. My supporters on Patreon are fantastic people. They are open-hearted and open-minded, and also ready and willing to answer questions or make suggestions for pickups or pedals or amps. I could not be prouder of the community that we've built over on Patreon and over on the Discord. And if you yourself are interested in finding out what you can do to support the channel, please click the link in the description down below. All right, so the hammer trick. What is it? How do I do it? It really is just as simple as hitting the arm with a hammer. Here's how I do it. Things you'll need: your vibrato arm, a vise, and a hammer. You could use a regular hammer, you could use a fretting hammer, you could even use a rubber mallet, but those tend to be kind of weighty and might have a little too much power for what you're trying to accomplish here. To get started, remove the arm from the vibrato. Now you're going to want to place the arm in a vise of some kind. Take for instance the small Stu Mac vise that I have here on my bench. Now when you put it in the vise, you're going to want about an inch of the end you insert into the guitar sticking out of the vise. Next, close the jaws of the vise down on the arm to hold it firmly. Once the arm is secure within the vise, pick up your hammer of choice and hit that side of the arm with moderate force. Now you don't want to overdo it. A gentle tap will usually suffice. Now the goal here is to put a nearly imperceptible bend in the arm itself so that when you reinsert it, it'll make more positive contact with the walls of the collet. Now all that's left is to remove the arm from the vise and reinstall it in the guitar. Now you might have to push just a little bit harder than you did before, but that's okay. That just means the hammer trick worked. And with the arm reinstalled, you can now feel the swinging tension of the arm, and you can judge for yourself whether it's enough or too little. If the arm is still too loose, you can totally do the hammer trick again. And if it's far too tight, well, that just means that you hit it a little too hard. Just remove the arm, put it back in the vise, but this time flip it the other way around, and tap the arm with about half the force that you used the first time. After that, you should be good. A note of caution, this trick works best on the following vibratos: Fender AVRI, MIJ CIJ, MIM, and Squier imports. Basically any of the standard Fender style vibratos where the arm is just kind of held in place by the collet itself. If you have a guitar where the arm screws in, do not perform the hammer trick. That's gonna make it impossible for you to thread your arm back in. That's no good. This goes double for, say, the Johnny Marr Jaguar or the American Professional 2 with the Panorama Vibrato. Both of these models have a modified arm housing with nylon inserts which grip the arm a lot more positively. In fact, the amount of play in the arm is fully adjustable on the Panorama, so if your arm's a bit loose, if it swings wildly, all you really need to do is take the vibrato off the body, flip it upside down, and turn that little screw. Now it should go without saying, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Don't use the hammer trick on any of the aftermarket upgrade options out there. Your Masteries, your Descendants, your Halons. Each of these companies addresses the amount of torque or swing or play in the arm in their own way, so it's best that you consult the manufacturers on this. Well, if you're like me and you desire an arm that stays relatively, not firmly, but relatively in place where you can still swing it out of the way when you need to, I hope that the hammer trick serves you well. Because as a guitar tech, there are so many little tricks that I use on a daily basis to improve my guitars, as well as those that come to me for service. And I want to share these things with you because institutional knowledge, such as the hammer trick, well, these are things that kind of disappear when a person leaves the industry or they're no longer available, or God forbid, something awful happens. And I want there to be a record of these things that have helped me so much over the years. So I hope that you're looking forward to more of this. I hope that you enjoyed this video. And if you use the hammer trick, let me know if it worked for you. But in any case, I want to thank you so much for watching, for coming back to the channel again and again, for liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, doing all that good stuff that you know YouTube loves. Well, I'm gonna go relax, play some guitar, generally just vibe a little bit, but before I do, I want to say thank you so much for watching. I hope you're taking care of yourselves and each other, and I'll see you in the next video.